such an asshole.
Hello, children. All right. Kind of maybe get the finishing ones. The tragedy is nothing else to do today. Like, I lifted weights yesterday. I don't know. Maybe I'll go run. It's one of those things where it's like, God almighty, why do I do this just to do it? And I know why I do it, to be healthy, but in Emily, you need some kind of vice. You need something to do. And TV is, I demand my vice be good. That's the only thing. Like, if I drank, it was Rumple Mints or high-end scotch. If it's television, I'm not watching The Tinder Swindler. No, I'm not yet watching Yellows. You'd really like it, Aaron. I don't want to watch it. Everyone else is watching it. And then write the book. Why do you write the book? Oh, so I can make more money and then possibly buy property over. For what? Inevitably, so I can sit on my ass. That's what I want to do. Sit on my ass to get a BJ. But is that so wrong? Yeah, but don't you get that already? Yes, but I want it all the time. I don't want to have to go through the work anymore to do it. What's wrong with that plan? Why doesn't anyone understand my plan? That's it. It's what it is. It's more to that than that. All right. We have a question that I couldn't really answer originally. The Australian train wreck here. Anonymity is not really needed, nor is Obi-Wan Cappy, as despite being at least a 3 on the clarity test, I know I need to do my turn life around. I'm currently doing it. So far, I've lost 35 kilograms. Oh, that's 75 pounds. With much more to go, and I'm doing the 12 steps. As I said in a super chat, I learned vicariously, hence I owe you a debt of gratitude. Guys, just come on. Yes, I'm great and wonderful. 41 single, no kids, IQ 120, obese, never had a full-time job, blah, 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 blah. Before you start, did I get the right one? Hang on. No, where did it go? Hang on. Where'd it go? Okay, here we are. All right, I do have the right one. You just took forever to answer. You took forever to get to the question. One I'm requested could be more useful, albeit less entertaining. Please share as much as you can about the most wretched, contemptuous client you've ever had beside me. I don't remember you, dude. I get them all the time. Everything blurs together. Maybe they were a fellow basement dweller, yet despite this managed to completely turn their life around. Although I'm no Pollyanna, I do genuinely believe that even the most pathetic losers do have the capacity to do something about it. If you consulted anyone who has performed such a 180-degree turn, then I'd love to hear it. If so, what beside harsh truths and much deserved criticisms do you offer? What really interests me about you, Aaron, isn't how you're both an arsehole and the best friend that a train wreck could have. Was dog of no real value, a brief glimpse of a caring side to you beneath your angry YouTube Cappy? No, I'm that angry. Can I like a dog? Angry YouTube Cappy we all love and often uses his justified contempt and frustration to get his point across. P.S. You're still a coony foont, but you've done way more for me than made me laugh and think at the same. All right. So I kind of told you, well, let me tell you what. I honestly can't remember my best turnaround client because the stories all kind of blur together. I can remember unique ones, but that doesn't mean they're turnarounds. I could talk about the last paragraph questions pretty easily, but I could only tell you maybe an interesting client story, not the best turnaround. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's address the first question. I'm sure there is someone I have nothing but contempt and hatred for looking for the easy way out. There's so many of those. What I do remember that's close to this was not a turnaround story as much as it was his entire life collapsed around him and he still made do. So not really a 180-degree turnaround because he was already a well-intended man, but he put in the equivalent amount of Herculean work and effort as with somebody like you having to turn around, lose weight, and turn their life around. And that was the Iranian kid whose parents disown him when he changed his major from becoming a doctor, medical doctor, to chemical engineering. And I can't imagine how strict his parents were to figure out that is a disownable offense. This is coming up on 8 years ago. Asshole Consulting is coming up on its 8th anniversary pretty soon here, and he was one of my first clients. And what he ended up doing is they gave him a car, brand new Mercedes, I believe it was, but without the support, all he had was that car. So he slept in the car, he worked out, he studied, and I think he had to get a job of some kind, and he ended up getting his degree in chemical engineering, but he lived out of his luxury SUV. And the reason I like that story, it's like a turnaround, is because he didn't have a choice, and most people would just collapse. Most people would run back to an uncle or something. This guy didn't do it. He said, "No, I'm doing it." So here he is, an immigrant. I believe English wasn't his first language. He goes, it's kind of like Atham. He goes and majors in a really hard subject like chemical engineering. And he lives out of his van or truck, SUV. And that was the most interesting and memorable one, but also one of a similar group of consultations where the family either disowned the individual, refused to support the individual, or was outright parasiting off of the individual. And that a lot of immigrant stories. Oh, we came from whatever, Jamaica. Parents live where else? New York, because reasons. Does mom and dad work hard to save up money? No. They live off of welfare. But then the poor kid wants to make something of himself, and parents would disown him or demand that he pay for them. You're going to help your mother, right? No, she's a fat bitch that just sat there and collected welfare. We've had a handful of people where the mom would threaten to disown the child if he went to the military, went to college. And so those are the most Herculean 180 quote turnarounds, is because they got no help. None. It's all them. And so that's what I remember. Now, hang on. All right. Besides truth, much deserved, what besides hard truths and much deserved criticism did you offer? What really interests me about you is how you're both an arsehole and the best friend that a train wreck could have. Was Dog of No Real Value a brief glimpse of a caring side to you beneath the angry YouTube Cappy we all love and who often uses his justified contempt and frustration to get his point across? I thought for some reason you asked about what I can. Maybe I screwed that up. I'll retitle this one. I'll retitle this. I'll just call it The Truth About the Dog of No Real Value. Even Stalin had a mother. Okay, even Hitler maybe had a joke and got laid every once in a while. Monsters or angry, hate-filled, contemptible, frustrated people as they all are, doesn't mean I don't enjoy a good blowjob on the patio. Doesn't mean I don't like the dog. Doesn't mean I don't have these desires. But for making it very, very short and quick, you're going to be a byproduct of your market. My environment. And the environment that I was in was not fun. And this is not the woe is me. I'm just saying what it is. Broken home. Parents got divorced when I was 7. It wasn't fun before that. I remember that. A right-wing Nazi-esque level of cult called the Wisconsin Synod Lutheran Church, which don't go there. There was a little bit of good times when my mom remarried and we actually had money a little bit. But then I was right back into, school where that was a nightmare. I was the biggest nerd, having to fight. You want where I have a hatred and contempt for all people. That's it. It has nothing to do with politics. Those are all Republicans, all white kids. Yeah, I do remember you people. I do remember you. I know where you are. So that wasn't fun for, God, 4 years. And then college, that was a miserable existence. I literally starved. I don't know if you're a nutritionist or if I met the qualifications of starving, but does a guy who's 5'9" go from 147 pounds down to 118? Does that count? I couldn't afford shampoo. I had to take it for free, and it was this itchy crap, and I caused dandruff. like blood coming out, scratching all the time. I couldn't afford lip balm. My lips were always split. It was cold. It was miserable. It was constant physical patrolling. And then it was also going and studying the whole time. Then I go into banking, and you all know how fun that was. Yeah, that was a mentally sane place. And then what? I mean, teaching ballroom dance, that was a glimmer of hope. Screwed it up with a couple girls, or not really, got like two, and even then, in hindsight, you're like, maybe not. But at the time, it wasn't fun. Oh, of course, girls like the nice guy. I was the nice guy, and then having to claw and get any kind of success that I did, although the dancing did help with that. And then, yeah, even though there's the comeback story and, oh, look, I wrote a book and now I'm doing these crazy things. And, oh, wow, can you believe it? No, I really can't. The first 35 years wasn't fun. And so that ain't going away. And it's not shtick. Like people ask, well, you make a great father. Yeah, I would. Well, why don't you want to have kids? I don't. Like I had that beaten out of me, not physically. I had that genetics, arguably the most compelling force of humankind to breed and have children. Nope. I like food. I like a warm bed. I like a house where the pipes don't freeze. I do not. And yeah, and that comes through. That's it. There it is. And what I see, and perhaps where I get more angry, is when I see my generation now, but it started with the boomers way back then. My parents' generation continuing to lie to younger people, when I woke up and realized what the banking system was doing and how these bankers were all just a bunch of frauds, how they're all lies. And this was like all bullshit. And then I got so pissed. And yeah, but then it doesn't stop. I see all the successive generations of younger people, you're all falling for the same thing. And so the least I can do, because you've all had unicorns and butterscotch shoved up your asses, and you believe in, oh my God, leftism, and I'll follow my dream money. One, I'm trying to stop you. Two, I'm trying to save you. And three, I'm trying to point out who your real enemies are, which sadly, as we've talked about just before, are usually your own goddamn parents. Certainly your teachers, definitely whatever socialist leftist party, whatever country you're in here, it's the Democrat Party. They are ruining your lives. It's like Bruce Willis in Die Hard 2. He's trying to get the plane to pull up. If you remember that one, he's like, pull up. And then you see no one pulling up. No one pulls up. No one cares. If anything, they give you the finger and tell you how mean of a person you are. Then I cheer them on. Then I cheer on their minds. And that's where Operation Evil comes in. But despite all that, despite all my misanthropy, despite all my genuine hatred and contempt for your average normie conformity inferior NPC, despite Operation Evil, I do like to have the occasional little bit of joy. I like to see Doge. I like to take the dog of no real value out and we go play ball because the dog is freaking happy. When I got back from Miami, the dog's tail wasn't wagging. Its whole back end was wagging because I came back. I like it when I get occasionally Cappy will have a female fan, and occasionally Cappy gets a little skin pick. It's like, hey, look at that. That's like a pinup, in the World War II days. You had the pinup. Or Raquel Welch would go sing to the Vietnam veterans. That give you a little fighting spirit. Yes, I'm not a robot. And the vice I used to have was booze. That would calm it down. That was very relaxing. That would chill me out. And I started doing stupid shit when I get drunk. So I had to put an end to that. And so now without vice, it's like, oh gosh, how many hikes can you do? How many motorcycle rides can you do? So yes, you can't, I'm sure Stalin had a kid, probably liked it even. But yes, I am human. There's a little bit of it. But for the most part, no, I am 95% asshole. I am 95% misanthrope. I am an angry, pissed off person, and I have every right to be, and you should be too. But I'm not going to give up the little bit of, humanity, especially when there are good things around, like the dog of no real value. Because honestly, if I didn't care a little bit, at least a little, although a lot of it is retribution and revenge, like I am so happy I've cost big education at least $600 million and lost tuition. I love that. So there's a retribution. But at the same time, I had a very nice thing happen with Vlad and his not a girlfriend. They did a very nice thing for me. And I didn't know what to say because it was like, oh, like, wow. And it was really nice. And I liked that. And that was nice. And the girl even cooked for us. It was very nice. So I do appreciate the good things, but there are so few good things. It's like, yeah, I'm usually on perpetually pissed off, angry vengeance mode. But if there's a good thing, I'm going to appreciate it. So I like the nieces. That's why I like kids in general, because they're innocent and they're like fun and they don't hate me. You know, like, hey, do you want to go down the slide? You do? All right, let's go. You want a chocolate ice cream? Let's get some chocolate. You want to go feed the fish? Let's go. You're not going to lecture me about the evils of patriarchy. And that's the other thing. Dog of no real value is a girl. So between my nieces and that dog, those are the best girls to take on dates. They don't expect nothing from me. They're happy. Fly in, see the nieces. Uncle Aaron, that's me. Right here. All right. Let's go through the super chats. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's the effort. I started living in my car a month ago. I work armed security graveyard 12-hour shifts, play Civilization 6 on my Switch, and I shower at the gym. I have a large amount of crypto saved up. There you go. There you go. Ant-Man runs $5. You back in Vegas? If so, would you show me some hikes next week if you have time? Give me time. I'm probably going to do a meetup because everyone wants to meet. They're like, oh, what are you going to? I need my throat better because I'm not going to be going to a cigar lounge yelling at a bunch of guys. I need to rest. I need to catch up with some certain things. I need to do nothing for a long time. And so there will be a meetup. But I just got back from Miami. I'm not immediately going. It's not that I don't love you guys or have the greatest job ever. I need to sit and veg out and get a blowjob on the patio. All right. There you go. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.